Welcome to the Weekly Option, the podcast for people interested in trading stock options. Each week, we cover trade ideas and opportunities in the stock market right now. Whether you're a beginner, a professional, or just curious about options, this is the show for you. Let's get started. Welcome to the Weekly Option. This is episode 302 on December the 22nd, 2023. I'm your host, Derek, and in this week's show, we'll cover the trades from last week on Bitfarms, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, and Unity Software, and we discuss three new trades on Tilray Brands, Sofi Technologies, and Lyft. Now, it's always great to hear from listeners. If you have any questions about the trades presented here on the show or even about your own positions, feel free to email me. You can email questions to eric@theweeklyoption.com. That's ERIC@theweeklyoption.com. I've also created a few videos to teach you all the basics of option trading that you'll need to know to be able to follow along with me on this show. You can visit our website and click on the video tab to watch them, or visit the YouTube channel for the Weekly Option. Now, the equity markets managed to finish the week slightly higher. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 80 points, closing at 37,385 points. The S&P 500 index gained 35 points, ending the week at 4,754 points. And now it's time for the topic of the week. The topic of the week is surviving the winds. If you've been trading long enough, you probably have experienced this situation. You have a great day or great week, and you're feeling pretty good about yourself. Then you experience one of your worst days or your worst weeks ever, and it humbles you. What happened? Did the market change? Did you just get lucky before? Well, every situation is different, so I can't comment exactly on what happened. However, I've seen what pride can do to a trader. The moment you feel good about your ability or your strategy, you typically start making subtle mistakes. You had been adhering to a series of rules, but after your big win, you felt pretty confident that you knew where the market was heading next. It typically is some variation of that situation. Discipline will get you the wins. Lacking discipline will create losses almost every time. It doesn't matter what your trading average is or how big your account is. The key is to be consistent in the execution of your trading rules. If you maintain discipline, you'll most likely keep more of your money in your account. Just ask me how I know. Got some experience on that one. So let's dive into the trading review from last week's trades. We'll start off with the covered call on Bitfarms, symbol B as in Bravo, I as in India, T as in Tango, F as in Foxtrot. At the time, the stock was trading for $2.97 per share. I looked at buying stock and selling the January 3 call at 45 cents, hoping for a return of 16.16% in 5 weeks. Well, shares of Bitfarms gained 2 cents, ending the week at $2.99 per share. The call option we sold is unchanged, which leaves us with a net gain of 2 cents if we were to close the trade out immediately. Now, if you've been listening to this podcast for longer than 5 minutes, you know that there's no way I would look to close this trade out yet. The stock price is well above the break-even point, and if stock closed at this price in 4 weeks, we would keep the stock, and then the option would still expire worthless, which would allow us to sell another call option with the February expiration against the shares that we own, which creates an even higher return on capital. So, even though not much happened on this trade, so far it's working out. We are 4 weeks ahead of expiration, so lots can still happen on this one. Option trading, of course, is not passive. So keep track of the stock price and make sure you have a plan in place before you need it. Next up, we have the credit spread on Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, symbol N as in November, C as in Charlie, L as in Lima, H as in Hotel. At the time, the stock was trading for $20.35 per share. I looked at selling the January 2019 put spread at 36 cents, which could give us a maximum possible loss of 64 cents per spread. Now, shares of Norwegian Cruise Lines grew 60 cents, closing at $20.95 on Friday. The out-of-the-money put spread that we sold is still out of the money, so we're hoping stock continues to increase and that this put spread that we sold expires out of the money. So far, so good. This trade is working as planned, so no adjustments are needed on this one either. And finally, we have the debit spread. We looked at Unity Software Inc., symbol U as in uniform. At the time the stock was trading for $39.31 per share, I looked at buying the January 38-39 call spread for 61 cents, which could give us a maximum gain of 39 cents, or that would be a 63.93% return in 5 weeks. Shares of Unity Software lost 9 cents, ending the week at $39.22 per share. The in-the-money call spread we bought is still in the money. We would lose money if we tried to sell the spread, and it would cost us 1 penny more to buy the spread again due to the bid-ask spread. So all in all, there really isn't a change in the position. The stock price is still above the break-even point, and the spread is still fully in the money. We will see the value of the spread increase over the coming weeks if the stock price remains above $39 per share. For now, no adjustments are needed. So that's it for the trading review of last week's trades. Of course, we are fully in the month of January for trading options. All of the trades on today's show will use the January 19th expiration for monthly options in January. So let's start off with the covered call on Tilray Brands, symbol T as in Tango, L as in Lima, R as in Romeo, Y as in Yankee. The stock ended the week at $2.19 per share. I'm looking at buying that stock and selling the January 2.5 call at 19 cents, hoping for a return of 22.83% in 4 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying stock for $2.19 and selling the January 2.5 call at 19 cents. This trade makes the most money if stock prices finish above $2.50 per share. The break-even price is $2 per share, and in real terms, the stock purchase will require $219 and you'll collect $19 for selling the option. Next up, we have the credit spread on Sofi Technologies, symbol S as in Sierra, O as in Oscar, F as in Foxtrot, I as in India. The stock ended the week at $9.71 per share. I'm looking at selling the January 9.5 put spread at 18 cents, which could give us a maximum possible loss of 32 cents per spread. Now you enter this trade by selling the January 9.5 put at 54 cents and concurrently buying the January 9 put for 36 cents. This is a credit spread because we are selling the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $9.50 per share. The break-even price is $9.32 per share, and in real terms, you'll receive $18 per spread that you sell and have $32 at risk. And then our final trade on the week is a debit spread on Lyft Inc., symbol L as in Lima, Y as in Yankee, F as in Foxtrot, T as in Tango. The stock ended the week at $15.35 per share. I'm looking at buying the January 14.5-15 call spread for 31 cents, which could give us a maximum gain of 19 cents, or that's a 61.29% return in 4 weeks. Now you enter this trade by buying the January 14.5 call for $1.49 and concurrently selling the January 15 call at $1.18. This is a debit spread because we are buying the spread, and this trade makes the most money if stock prices expire above $15 per share. The break-even price on this trade is $14.81 per share, and in real terms, you'll pay $31 to enter the spread, and your maximum gain is $19 per spread. So that's it for this week's show. Nice, short, and sweet before the Christmas holiday. Of course, I wanted to point out that the equity markets in the United States will not be open on Monday, December 25th, in honor of Christmas. So Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays to those of you who do not and plan on just celebrating New Year's or whatever you celebrate. Just celebrate every day. Life is good. I have to remember that sometimes because I do get a little distracted by profit and loss and all sorts of other things. But man, just life is good. And I'm looking forward to wrapping up this year and starting next one out with a really strong bang. So glad you guys are following along with me on this journey. Thank you for the emails that I get. Thank you guys for just listening and sharing with friends. So have a wonderful weekend. Happy holidays. And as always, happy trading. Thank you for listening to the Weekly Option Podcast. Please subscribe to our show and visit us at www.theweeklyoption.com. Disclaimer: there is a very high degree of risk involved in trading. The indicators and strategies described in this podcast are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment advice. For our full disclaimer, visit our website at www.theweeklyoption.com.